In today's world, we are bombarded with so much information. So many things come in and out of our focus each and every day. We are constantly asked to process information and make an infinite number of decisions in our daily lives. Most of those decisions happen unconsciously, but our behavior is still shaped by those decisions. Most stem from habits we've formed. Other decisions come from our survival instinct, like the decision to eat and drink. But the conscious decisions we make are what to eat and drink, whether or not to exercise, or perhaps go to the movies, which concert we should go to, and who to go with. What if I told you that I had the answers to making all the right decisions? Decisions that will lead you down a path to achieve your biggest dreams, but most importantly, lead you down a path to success and happiness. Okay, so how do you make the right decision in every situation? Well, for one thing, you can't, because sometimes there's those decisions that just either decision's not right or wrong. The point I'm trying to make is you can make more and more right decisions in those cases where there is definitely a wrong decision, so you can enhance your life and overall happiness in life. I think the point of life is to have overall happiness, and what I mean by that is to have happiness maximized throughout your entire life. So there's some things that bring instant gratification, like eating a box of donuts or even one donut, or watching TV for long periods of time, or watching a movie, comfort stuff, just things that bring instant gratification. And then there's those things that bring you delayed gratification, like exercising so you can reach fitness goals, or abstaining from social media so you can have a better connectedness with the real world, or just working really, really hard to get what you want, and sacrificing in the short run so you can have what you want in the long one, right? I think we understand that. So that being said, you need to have a good goal in mind. You need to have something you're striving for, and the stronger the goal is connected to your purpose, that kind of goal or purpose is going to be attached to what I'm about to show you next. It's going to give you the best effect with decision making, because really you're going to be asking yourself the question why a lot. I think that's really important to, if you don't have a goal, I would just maybe pause this video and write a few down at least, so you have some purpose, or something that you're striving for. And then we can take a look at this. This is my flow chart, and it's not perfect, but I made it up really quick, and this is kind of how I go through my decision making. When I connect them to my goals, I really take a look at this, and it really tells me whether or not I should go through with the decision or not go through with the decision. So if you see in the top left, you can see it says, if I go through with this decision, will it compromise my morals, beliefs, and or overall happiness? I think that's probably one of the more important things. Obviously, you don't want to compromise any of those things. So if you can say no, that you're not compromising any of those things, then you can go on to the next. If you say yes, then obviously it goes down here to don't go through with the decision. So let's go down to no. And it says, if I go through with this decision, will it bring me closer to my goals? And obviously, no goes to don't go through with this decision. And then yes brings you on to the next step, which is, am I making excuses why I shouldn't go through with this decision? So in my life, I constantly want to say no to things. I constantly make excuses. I make 100 excuses per decision in my mind for why I'm not doing it. Why shouldn't I go to the gym this morning? Why shouldn't I not eat this cupcake, even though I'm in a fasted state and the cravings hit me really hard? This is just one example. Obviously, you can apply this to a different goal you're going after. But why shouldn't I do that? Why shouldn't I just give in to my comfort? Because if I start making excuses, that's going to become the index for the rest of my decision making, right? That's going to be okay, the next decision that gets really, really hard that I need to make is going to be I'm gonna go back to that decision I made before, and I'm gonna be like, well, I quit then. And it goes on to the next one. So it says, am I making excuses as to why I shouldn't go through with this decision? It says yes, right? So yeah, if you say yes, I'm making excuses, then you just skip a step and you go down to here. Ignore the arrow going straight up, you know, to the top there. Go through with this decision. That one I just didn't take out. But if you say yes, then obviously you know that you're making excuses. So the last thing would be, does going through with this decision negatively affect any of my other goals? If yes, then you probably want to think about it and not go through with the decision. But if it doesn't, if it's not overlapping with any other decision and you're not negatively affecting any other decision, then you should probably go through with the decision. You do want some instant gratification in your life. You have to stop and smell the roses. You have to have these short-term things that make you happy, but you have to know what your limit is. But like if I'm at the gym and I'm lifting weights and I'm like, is this negatively affecting my other goals being like my well-being, right? I want to feel good. Am I lifting too much weight where I'm going to injure myself and I'm not going to be able to even achieve my goals in the weight room, because now I got to stay out of the gym for a week and not work out because I injured myself. So am I really compromising? Am I really just saying like, am I making excuses like, oh, it's just too hard? Or am I really like, no, this is going to strain my muscles and I'm not going to be able to get in the gym here for a while. I know my limits. So know your limits, but that's kind of what that's about. Does this going through this decision of negatively affect any of my other goals? No. Then go through with the decision. You really answered all the questions. You really know where you stand, so you could be pretty confident to go through with the decision. If you said no, so go back to the last one. It says, am I making excuses? So no, I'm not making excuses. And then you look at the next one and it says, am I letting fear cloud my judgment into not going through with this decision? I think this is really a bubble where you're thinking to yourself, no, I'm not, I don't think I'm making excuses. And then you, I think this is just an extra layer to ask yourself, like, is it fear that's making me say this, or am I truly not making excuses? And if you could truly say, no, I'm not making excuses, then you can go down to that bubble we've already went over. But if you are letting fear cloud it, then you probably need to say yes and go through with the decision. Obviously, both of them are going to lead you down through, does this decision negatively affect any of the other goals? You don't want to do that. And again, it's not perfect. I made this up pretty quickly, but this is kind of what goes through in my head, and I could refine this and make this better, and I probably will. But this is kind of basically what I go through. Really think about your purpose and attach it to your goals so you can take a flow chart like this, or a decision-making process that you make up for yourself, where you can really maximize your overall happiness in life, and you can say yes to the things that are hard. You can say no to the things that are nagging at you, and not make excuses, and not let fear cloud your judgment in things, bring you closer to your goals, and not negatively affect any of your other goals. So anyways, I wanted to make more videos on motivation and how you can stay motivated and things like that. So if you're struggling with like motivation, obviously I briefly covered this decision-making process thing and how to make more right decisions, how to maximize your overall happiness in life. But if you're really struggling with the motivation thing, I think that's the next video I'm going to make. I'm actually currently reading this book called Can't Hurt Me, kind of an autobiographical of David Goggins, and he's the biggest badass I've ever heard of, honestly. He works so hard, and I can't even come up to half of his level, but honestly, that's external motivation, right? So you read a book or you go to an event and somebody gives you external motivation, but you really need to have an internal thing. They call it an internal locus of control. You really need to understand that you are in control of your circumstances. Well, not quite, but you can react to them in a way that says, I'm not going to be a victim of my circumstances. That's just briefly, but I think that's the next video I'm going to make. So if you like this video and it brought you any value, please subscribe, give it a like, And we'll see you in the next video. That's kind of all I have to say about that. So yeah. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt.